You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This week's episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Imaging Services, Zingit Solutions, Peter Goldman's Zone School of Healing, Everest Coaching Systems, ChiroThin, Universal Tractioning Systems, Chiropractic Jobs Online, Rhino Coaching, Chiro Matchmakers, True Chiro, and the Social Health Experts Summit. Let's hustle. Hey guys, this is a sponsorship edition of the Chiro Hustle live stream. Today I have Dr. Clint Steele with me. He is out in Portland, Maine, and I am coming in from Grand Junction, which is in the Grand Valley on the western slope of Colorado, which I like to say it's where no one lives, and I moved here to hear the birds chirp. But this is a very special episode because we're going to drill into what it means to be a true chiropractor and how easy it is to work with the dynamic dream team that they have over at True Chiro. But before we get going into this, I want to welcome Dr. Clint Steele on as our esteemed guest today and our sponsor. And if you guys want to learn more about what he's doing, episode 80 is his episode with the Chiro Hustle podcast, and it's this week's episode. So go up to the description and click on that link and hear more about what Dr. Clint has to say about his chiropractic career and how he got to where he is today. So welcome to the show, Dr. Clint.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I'm going to flash your website up here on the bottom so people know where to click through if they want to come over and test drive your website at truechiro.org. So you've created something for the chiropractic profession, and you had big vision around this. Let's talk about the vision around this, and then let's talk a little bit about what it looks like to work with you.
Absolutely, man. The vision is this. The vision is simple. Too many people think chiropractic is about neck and low back pain, and the vision is to change that perspective. That's it. What I did, and I did this in my own practice, as you'll hear if you listen to episode 80. I did this in my own practice. I went from a PVA of 12, treating neck and low back pain for the most part, to now a PVA of 100 plus, barely treating any neck and low back pain. Most people that come in now are either wellness, they want wellness, or it's something other than neck and low back pain, whether it's depression, anxiety, asthma, whatever.
So how did we come from a chiropractic profession that at one point was really focused on yellow page ads and really focused on, if you have a car crash and you're in pain, come in here, to this new type of chiropractic, which is more vitality based and more, lifestyle choice based?
How did we go from neck and low back pain to this?
Yes.
Well, this is the truth, Jim. This is, as you know, this goes way back. This is how we started, man. Like, it wasn't about neck and low back pain back in the day, right? It was about, the nervous system and the brain being able to communicate with the body so the body could heal itself, right? There was no miscommunication. And what happened was back in the 80s, maybe 70s, 80s, insurance, in my opinion, and again, I may be wrong, but insurance companies started getting involved. They started covering neck and low back pain because that's what the research showed at that time. And then boom, it just kind of blossomed into, oh yeah, you're a chiropractor, you treat neck and low back pain.
Yeah, I think that it became easy for chiropractors to market and brand themselves and get busy, but it really sidetracked the real principle of chiropractic. And I think that that's something we have to pay attention to as we advance into, 2019 is what do chiropractors stand for and how can they get a better quality, care plan going for people, and how can they actually communicate chiropractic to people into a way that makes sense for them, that I don't need to get in here to get through something or out of something. I'm here because this is a lifestyle choice and it's going to make me better long-term because now I have more freedom in my physiology, which is going to have a direct outcome on, like you said earlier, sometimes people come in for depression. Yeah. Duh. When your nervous system's functioning better, your body starts functioning better and your thought process functions better. You remove that subluxation, the innate intelligence starts to thrive inside of that individual. And, you basically took the guardrails off. Now this person has the freedom to, act responsibly with their mind, act responsibly with their body, and have the freedom of not knowing what neck pain and back pain is.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the whole idea behind this, Jim, is that, I got lazy. Okay. So I'm not doing anything that some other chiropractors aren't doing, but I think what happened was the profession got lazy. They started taking what insurance would pay. And so when I got out of school in 1993, 25 years ago, right, I went out and I was going to conquer the world with chiropractic. I was going to change the world's health. And what happened was people wanted to see me for neck and low back pain. The insurance would only pay for neck and low back pain. So I'm like, well, I got to pay the bills. So I'm just going to do this, right? It was, in my opinion, it was the lazy way out. It was I didn't want to have to change people's perspective, change people's thought processes. Fine, just come in. I'm gonna treat your neck and low back pain, and I'll try to convince you along the way that you need more than that. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Lo and behold, I have a PVA of 12, right? And so I quit practice after about 17 years, 18 years. I was disillusioned. I was stressed. I used to have a full head of hair, man, when I started, right? I was totally stressed out. And so I stopped. I was never going to practice again. I was out, Jim, and I shared this with you. I was out selling Kirby vacuum cleaners door to door. Like, this is how bad it was. And this is how bad I didn't want to get back into chiropractic. And then one day, man, just something clicked. And I said, you know what? This is not how it's going to be anymore. I'm going to go out and I'm going to share the truth with my community of chiropractic, share the truth of chiropractic with people that I knew. And within 6 months, I went from 0 to 500 patient visits a week. And now 3.5, 4 years later, I have a PVA of 100 plus. And there's a system that we followed to get to that point.
And that's at truechiro.org. And if you guys wanted to come over to that website and see what it's like to work with Dr. Clint at truechiro.org, he can walk you through step by step on how to onboard to his system. Let's talk a little bit about the onboarding process. But before we get into there, how many people out there do you think that are watching this have the same resonance with you? I got into chiropractic to go out there and save the world. I became some type of mission-driven person, and then I got stuck in this insurance game where I basically sold out my licensing to treat neck pain and low back pain. And now I have to rebirth myself and come back to the true tenets of chiropractic, which is going back to keeping people under care long-term, which is really why chiropractic was created as a profession, 122 years ago almost. And, I think that so many times people get just like you. They get out there into practice, they start practicing and taking care of people, but it's not their authentic, true style. And I think what you guys have discovered is something really cool. So let's talk a little bit about, how many people out there that probably felt just like you, but how you have a solution for them now.
You know what? I speak to doctors every single day that were in the same boat that I was. They're just disillusioned. They're sick and tired of insurance companies telling them what to do. They're sick and tired of people coming in just wanting them to get rid of their neck and low back pain. And it happens a lot. I don't know what the percentage is, but my guess is it's pretty high. And so what we want to do is we want to take, basically take these docs from where I was, same thing, to where I am now, which is, a much less stressful practice, much more income, just much more enjoyable, man. Like, people come in, they're not complaining all the time. You're not responsible for their getting rid of their pain. They come in for their regular adjustments, whether they have symptoms or not. And that's the idea behind it. And so what I did was, when I got back in practice, I said, I'm going to do this my way. And so we started educating our following on the truth of chiropractic. I went 100% cash because I didn't want to have, and by the way, when I went from 0 to 500, it's 100% cash. I wanted to do this in a way that an insurance company wasn't going to be able to come in and tell me, no, you're not going to do this. Because the way I explain it is this: if you're married, you have a spouse, a third party comes in, starts telling your spouse, for example, in my case, my wife, how beautiful she is and how she deserves better and all this. And like, we may have the best relationship in the world, but if this third party is all of a sudden put these thoughts in her head, like, it's going to mess with it. Right. And so, boom, we got to get that third party out. And so that's why I decided to go 100% cash. Not that you have to go 100% cash to follow our program, but it makes it much easier. And
but one of the beautiful things, though, that you're saying here is that you're teaching from experience.
Yes. Yeah. Basically, I'm not asking any doctor to do anything I didn't do. I'm not telling docs. I'm not I'm not here to bash docs that were in the position that I was, man. Like, all I saw was neck and low back pain, and it's not because that's what I want to see. That's because that's what paid the bills. And yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of a little bit of gratification there, when someone came in and they're able to play with their kids again where they couldn't before, stuff like that. But it got old fast, and so when I opened back up, my wife Tina, by the way, is part of this team that we're going to talk about here. We came on and we said we have to follow the same guidelines, if you will, that the pharmaceutical company does, that McDonald's does. Like, if you've never stepped into a McDonald's before, do you know what McDonald's is? Do you know what McDonald's does? Do you know what McDonald's is all about? And the answer is absolutely yes, right? Pharmaceutical companies, guys. I've never been on a pharmaceutical in my life. Okay, I'm not on any now, but I know what pharmaceuticals are because what? I hear it on a consistent basis. And so what happens is too many chiropractors focus on educating their following when they're in the office, but not when they're away from the office. Mm-hmm. Like, I hear about McDonald's almost every day, and yet I haven't been into a McDonald's in years, right? And so what I decided to do was just follow that same path and educate my following on the truth of chiropractic when they were away from the office, because the majority of the time they're away from the office, right? Mm-hmm. And so we started using email blasts. Now, email blasts, only about 20% of those are going to be open, right? And so, my wheels are churning, like, we got to hit more. We got to get more of these, right? And so what happened was I started texting people. I would call them on the phone to confirm their appointment or whatever, and I would never get a call back. They would never answer, like 99.9% of the time. But I would send them a text, and within 15 minutes, boom, they're replying back to me. So I said, you know what, I'm going to use this same system to educate them as well. So we use text service to educate them. We use a blog service. Basically, what happened was I was going through a process of the time of learning how people learn, and different people learn different ways. Some people learn by listening. Some people learn by watching. Some people learn by reading. And so I knew I had to hit these people in every single way that I could. And so we do texting, we do emailing, we have a blog that we send out, we do audio, all kinds of different ways to educate their community and their following about the truth of chiropractic. And what happens is this, Jim, is as they start hearing this stuff, they start coming in and they start questioning you, right? And I feel like I do a great job of educating my following when they're in the office, but yet when they get a text message and they come in and they say, "Oh, doc, I didn't know you could help with asthma." They see a testimonial of someone that their anxiety improved or their asthma improved or whatever, and they come in and they say, "Oh, doc, I watched that testimonial. I didn't know you could help asthma or anxiety, or chiropractic helps this." And I said, "Well, what the heck are you talking about? Like, we went over for a half an hour in my office, like your first or second visit." But all of a sudden now it clicks, right? They're away from the office. And what I think it does, it changes that pathway. They think that when they're in the office, they have this thing like, okay, he's going to try to educate me. He's going to try to trick me into, believing this or that. But when they're outside of the office and they hear this stuff, and then it's like the pathways, wait a second, what is this? I'm not in a chiropractic office, but yet I'm hearing about the benefits of chiropractic for something other than neck or low back pain. And it changes that pathway, right?
The things that you're saying to me make a lot of sense. And, back to what you said when you started that conversation with our audiences, one of my mentors, Ed Osborne, would always say, we're all more alike than we are different. And there's so many people out there that were just like you, that were, wondering what they're doing as a chiropractor, and now you have solutions for them. One of my favorite things to do is find solutions for people, and that's why we partner with the group that we do. All of our sponsors are congruent with what we do and what we believe in. So we're super happy to have True Chiro on board with us. Let's just dive in a little bit. But before I get going on that, I'm going to ask everybody out there that's watching this to comment in where you're watching from. And if you're finding value from this, hashtag value for us, please. Or just let us know just comment something to us, because what happens, guys, is when we're doing these lives, if you interact with us, it goes up into the news feed faster and it gets more exposure. So please comment or share or send us some hearts and some thumbs up, just because, there's so many people out there that need this message, especially the chiropractic marketplace, about what Dr. Clint and Tina are doing for the chiropractic profession. So truechiro.org, it says click here in the description of this Facebook Live. So go up there and click there and come on over and see what they have to offer at truechiro.org. But let's talk to people about the onboarding process. What does it look like if somebody says, I raise my hand, I want to become a true chiropractor? What does it look like?
Yeah, so it's very simple. First off, make sure that everyone understands, like, we do the work for you. This is the program. Now, we will educate you. We'll help you along the way. If you don't want to join our program, absolutely. But what I found in doing this, Jim, is that, I was spending about $2,500 to $3,000 a month on someone to not only educate them about the truth of chiropractic, but then have them go out and do this stuff out into the community, right? Do the email blast, do the text blast, put together the blog, like all this stuff. And so when Tina and I, my wife and I, decided to put this together, we said we have to make it affordable, number one. Number two, we have to make it to the point where it's a no-brainer. Like, we will do this for them, right? And so what we do is basically we meet with you or your team, if you're the doctor, or your team, your lead CA, and we just get the information from them. We get the emails, we get the text, the cell phone numbers, we get your contact info, we put you into the searchable database. Because what happens, Jim, we haven't even touched on this, is that we've got video testimonials of people with like anxiety, or Dr. Zano's IBS story, all these videos that are starting to go viral. And at the end of these videos, it says find a true chiro near you, because when people watch this, they say, wait a second, I didn't know chiropractic could help with IBS or this or that. I need to find a chiropractor like this around. And so we have a searchable database they can go to. They put their zip code in, boom, it pulls up your contact info, how they can make an appointment at your office. So there's that. There's a blog. Basically, we get your picture that you want in the blog. All this stuff looks like it comes from the doctor or the doctor's office rather than coming from us. Again, but we do all the work. And so it's a very seamless process, very simple process. Just takes a few minutes to get the on-ramp on, and then boom, we're educating your following then on the truth of chiropractic on a consistent basis. And when I say on a consistent basis, text messages go out 1 to 2 times a week, emails go out once a week. We update the blog for you once a week, so there's a new blog post, and we put all the tags in there so that we can get you listed up on the ranks, Google search and all the search engines, those types of things as well. So we have a team. Tina is amazing. She's my wife. She handles a lot of the on-ramping stuff. But we have professional blog writers. We have professional videographers that handle, the production of the videos. Just an amazing team.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This week's episode is brought to you by Close for Chiro, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Imaging Services, Zingit Solutions, Peter Goldman's Zone School of Healing, Everest Coaching Systems, ChiroThin, Universal Tractioning Systems, Chiropractic Jobs Online, Rhino Coaching, Chiro Matchmakers, True Chiro, and the Social Health Experts Summit. Let's hustle. That's so cool. And what I wanted to say is most people that are marketing for chiropractic are still in the strip mall mindset, and they're still in the conveyor belt technology era. And you have to get with the times. Otherwise, I tell people this all the time, there's going to be somebody that comes out of school in the next 3 months that's going to go into your community, and they're going to start doing these type of systems. And then they're going to be the clinic that starts taking care of their community with this type of strategy. So if you aren't with the times and you aren't coming into it with, repurposing content, if you aren't out there posting consistently, if you aren't doing technologies like texting, if you aren't doing blog writings, if you aren't doing video stuff, there is a gap in your business. So I think that more people need to get with the times if they want to be successful in the 2019 year.
Well, here's the thing, Jim, is not only to be successful, but to educate and change the perspective of chiropractic to the public, right? Because too many people think chiropractic is about neck and low back pain. And so when they start seeing things coming out of your office about things like asthma and things like depression and anxiety and IBS and constipation, and these questions start coming up in their mind, like, what the heck is this guy? Just to give you an idea, Jim, I've got 4 other chiropractors all within a half-mile radius of me that have been there for years. I opened up, and within 6 months, like I said, 100% cash, I went from 0 to 500. I was seeing more than all of those chiropractors combined on a weekly basis. Okay. And that's because I was sharing the truth of chiropractic. I made myself different. I wasn't out there promoting, hey, I can fix your neck pain. Hey, I can fix your back pain. I was out there promoting the truth of chiropractic. And people saw that, and then they came to me. And then now what's happening now is I don't even take, if someone searches me on Google, usually I don't even accept them anymore. Tina will take the call a lot of times, and she'll go through a process, say, hey, just so you know, if you're just trying to get rid of your neck or low back pain, there's chiropractors around the area you can go see. You're probably not going to want to see us, because the majority of people that come to my office now are referrals, and they know what's going on because they've gone to our Facebook page, they've seen our Facebook lives, they've seen the video testimonials, they've seen the education, they've been to a dinner, whatever. And that's how they're getting into our office. And they know when they come in, they're going to be with us for a long time, if not for the rest of their life, because they know that's what we're all about.
Dude, that's so cool. And, one of the things that you made me, that stirred up into my mind was, anybody can do this. And if you guys are stuck out there and you guys are having a hard time developing your skill sets around growth and staying on principle and staying on the truth of chiropractic, I think that true chiropractic is right for everyone out there, at least to come over and do a test drive and see if it can be something that you can onboard more patients that are interested in real chiropractic. I think that that's really cool. And, a lot of what I was going to mention also is you do get referrals based on this type of video promotion and these type of blogs and this type of communication, because people are passively watching that stuff and they're saying, I know 5 people with that. Like, why don't I get them in there to see Dr. Clint?
Jim, I had a lady, just for an example, and this is for some reason, this seems to be happening more and more with me. I have 20-something-year-olds coming in with really not any symptoms. They're just wanting to get well, right? And they know that, like, the way I say it is people want what we have. They just don't know we have it, right? Because if you go, Tony Abell talks about this all the time. He goes, you go to Chipotle. Why is Chipotle so busy right now, right? They're just another fast food company, right? Are they or not? Or they differentiate themselves, right? Panera, same thing. Like busy, because they're not just another fast food company. They're just not another walk up and let's get some food. They're healthy, right? And so people are looking for this stuff. If we let them know that we have this, they're going to want it. And so I have 20-something-year-olds coming in. Just for an example, you were talking about this stuff works. I had a 24, 25-year-old female come in the other day. She says, I've been watching you on Facebook lives for the last probably 3 or 4 months. I had no idea she was watching. She just calls up. I want an appointment. No symptoms. She goes, I just want to be healthy. She comes in and she says, I just want to be healthy. Guys, get that. How many chiropractors do you think that happens to, Jim, on a regular basis?
Not often.
Not often, but it needs to. And so that's what we're doing. That's our mission is we want chiropractors to be in that same position. We want, guys, if everyone knew what chiropractic was really about, we wouldn't have enough chiropractors in this country right now. We would be overloaded with too many practice members, man. That's it. He's got Tara Hogan there, did a video on ear infections and got a react, and her kid in again a day later. Guys, this is what it's all about, man. This is what it's all about.
I can't say it any more pure than what you delivered it, because I think that right now I get people that reach out to me that said, hey, man, I've been watching you do what you do for 2 years. How can I join your team? So basically, I unsubluxate the message of chiropractic and get more people out there to listen. And people are recognizing that if you're consistent in your marketplace and you keep on keeping on in the digital era, I would tell people right now there's no better time to be a chiropractor right now with what we have at our possession of the digital era to get more people into the office. You're probably not going to walk down the street and have more people tell you, I have less concerns with my health. People right now have more concerns with their health. They don't know how to appropriately have good posture. They don't know how to appropriately build meal plans for themselves. They don't have anybody as like a counselor on their back end that's a natural healer.
That's it, Jim. People are looking for a leader. People are looking for someone to lead them down this path. They know their medical doctor can't lead them. They're looking for someone that can. And if they think their chiropractor only does neck and low back pain, they're not going to look to them for natural alternatives, for natural health, for well-being, right? As soon as they figure this out, as soon as they know that you're more than just neck and low back pain, boom, it changes the game.
I love it, man. I love your passion. I love your mission. I love your vision. I know that we wanted to talk a little bit about the hands-off approach for your system. So if you guys do come on board, you guys get a marketing team working for you. And it's not you don't always have to be ever present in the marketing process. True Chiro will take you and guide you through the process. So a lot of times I know that people don't take the first step because they lack confidence. They're like, well, what am I going to say? How am I going to deliver this message? How can I stay consistent? So I really believe that if anybody comes over to truechiro.org, they're going to have all of the opportunities to go out there and to get more people into their offices by promoting in a very specific way that's going to basically give them the freedom to get these referrals with a team. And I think that that's really cool what you've done.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Jim. One of the things I want to point out to people listening, though, is that there's every time I open my email, I've got someone that promises me new patients, get new patients doing this, get new patients doing that. Guys, please understand that's not what we're about. Okay, we're not about getting you new patients. It's going to happen through this process, absolutely. Our goal is to get you to keep your patients for a lifetime, right? Because if we go from a 12 PVA to 100 PVA, what happens to their health? Number one, that's the most important thing. What happens to a person's health when they go from being adjusted 12 times in their lifetime to 100 times in their lifetime, 100 plus? What happens to their health? No brainer, right? The second thing that it does, what does it do for your practice? What does it do for your own health? What does it do for your bottom line? And what does it do to your stress levels? When you get off this new patient merry-go-round, which most of the profession is on right now, guys, why do you think there's so many chiropractors out there that are trying to teach you how to get new patients? Because they fall off every 2 months and you've got to get more new patients. You got to get more new patients. Guys, I'm into this now about 3.5, 4 years, and I'm basically at the point where I don't want any more new practice members. I'm done, okay? I've hired another associate. We're getting ready to hire another associate. I'm just passing them on. I'm passing them on. I got my second associate right now. He's been with me now for 2 years. He's getting to the point where he's starting to max out as well, okay? How many chiropractors do you think have that problem, Jim? Not many, right? And I know because I did it for 17 years.
Yeah, your conviction is second to none. And I know that what you do is you teach something that you've experienced yourself. And I think that those are the best leaders out there. So when people are looking for solutions to their new patient problem or their practice issues, I know that you and Tina have done a really great job of also networking within the chiropractic space to be able to find out where the puck is going and to know who to attach yourselves to co-brand with. And I just want to say thank you for trusting Chiro Hustle as one of those partnerships that you've created.
Well, I appreciate it, Jim. And I appreciate what you're doing, man. Like you're out there doing more for the profession than a lot of chiropractors are. A lot of the chiropractors that are just focused on neck and low back pain, they're and I put it out there. Hey, they're bashing other chiropractors, whatever. Guys, let's get away from that, man. Let's totally get away from that. And let's go focus on what we need to be doing, which is educating the public about the truth of chiropractic. If we all focused on that and we didn't worry about bashing each other because we didn't use this term right or we didn't use that term right or whatever, like if we just focused on sharing the truth of chiropractic, we would do amazing things. So let's do it.
I agree. And it's not about what I do or what they don't do. It's about people like you that support what we do so I can continuously create great content that supports the chiropractic profession. So if people just followed a little bit about what you are doing and what I'm doing, and they were a catalyst for their own success, they would see that just having conversations on chiropractic elevates the profession. And the real reason that we've done this is we want a chiropractic to live outside the four walls of chiropractic. And with our tracker, we've just surpassed 600,000 listens to our podcast in the past 10 months. Dr. Clint Steele is episode number 80. His episode is up there in the description of this Facebook Live, and it says click here. All I ask you to do is please click there, go over and test drive his website, and see if what Dr. Clint and Tina do at truechiro.org is right for you. Dr. Clint, is there anything else I didn't ask you that you'd like to share with our audience today?
Let's get on board, man. Let's start changing the perception of chiropractic, right? We're getting ready to also, by the way, we just it should be ready today. I think Tina's watching. She's going to hopefully post this, but we just started a new Facebook page called PVA 100 plus Chiro. Absolutely free. We're going to be giving tips, tricks, practice, best practices, all this stuff on how docs can increase their PVA, which is, guys, bottom line, this is what it's all about. Okay. You can get 100 patients this month, 100 patients next month, but if they all fall off in month 3 and month 4, what's the point, right? What's the point, guys? Okay. So let's change this. Let's go from a 12 PVA. I think the national average is 10. Let's move this up to 100. All right. Let's see what happens to the profession when every chiropractor has a PVA of 100 plus. Okay. So go to that. Tino put the link on. It's called PVA 100 plus Chiro. A free Facebook page. It's going to be private. So we're going to share, all the intimate secrets and details and everything that we need to do to help as many docs as possible increase their PVA.
And that's just it, is if anybody does want to take action and step forward, you guys will see benefits. And that's the really cool thing about what you guys have done is teach from experience and then give people actionable steps to take in order to be more successful. And I love that about what you and Tina are doing. And I think it would change the cultural conversation of chiropractic, and the chiropractic profession would be less wanting at that point, and there'd be less offering to the chiropractic profession if there's more certainty in the strength of the individual practice. And I think that that's what you're offering to people is strength of the individual practice to make the chiropractic profession less wanting and more certain. And I think that that's such a beautiful chemistry when people actually get into that flow state and know that what they're doing with you is going to get them into that point where there'll be a less wanting practice.
Absolutely. You know how much power there is, Jim, in sitting down with someone and saying, this is what I do. And they say, well, I just want you to get rid of my neck and low back pain. And you look at them straight in the eye and you say, there's a doctor right down the street. Go ahead. There's the door. See you later. And they come back and say, well, wait. Like what's going on? There's so much power in that. And to be okay with them walking out the door because that's not what you want in your practice.
One of my good friends, Patrick Smith, we hang out sometimes and I come by his clinic in Denver and talk. And he tells me, when a patient tells me that they have pain here or they have pain there or they have pain going on, I go whisper down to them and say, you're not here for that.
Yeah. That's it. And it takes a while. People don't get it at first, right? But eventually they will. And it comes from not only educating when they're on the table, when they're in the office, but most importantly, when they're away from the office. And that's where we shine with what we do.
Awesome, Dr. Clint. Well, thank you so much for being my sponsor today and to talk about truechiro.org and to tell people how easy it is to onboard with you and your systems and strategies and how that they can become a larger influence in their local communities and they could get that fan praise from their followers to where people are just going to be calling you because of your attraction in your community with the strategies that Dr. Clint has set up for you. Once again, if you guys are watching this and you found value in this, hashtag value in the comments so we know that you got value from this chiropractic conversation today. And then I would also urge you guys to share this message if you found value in this, because more people need to know about what Dr. Clint and his team are doing over at truechiro.org. And I just want to say thank you so much for everybody that is a part of this Chiro Hustle community. We do keep free speech alive and well in the chiropractic marketplace. And once again, truechiro.org. Dr. Clint, it was a real pleasure to have you today.
Thanks so much, Jim. Appreciate all that you do, man, and for allowing us to come in and partner up with you, man.
Yeah, I know that the sky's the limit when it comes to the chiropractic profession. When I first got into it almost 10 years ago now, I knew that there'd be a wave of excellence with the chiropractic profession. We just had to get through the stumbling phase of how it was branded, and now we need to figure out the truth behind it and get that message out to people. And I always knew that chiropractic was the beautiful profession. Most chiropractors that are failing out there just don't realize how to deliver the goods to their people. Yeah. And if we can unsubluxate their path of how they deliver the excellence, then they're going to have a much more fruitful existence as a chiropractor, like you guys are experiencing now.
Amen, brother.
Awesome, man. Well, I look forward to catching you on the next one. And if you guys haven't done it yet, please go over to truechiro.org. And if you made it this far in here and you did not get any value out of this, just hashtag I want to talk to Dr. Clint. And if you guys are watching us on replay for the last thing, hashtag replay in here so we know you stopped by and watched. With that being said, you guys are just one story away. Keep hustling, and thank you for all your support far and wide. We'll talk to you soon, okay? Thank you for listening to Chiro Hustle Live. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.